The planet Zarina 9 had always been peaceful. The Zarinians, a beautiful alien race with soft violet skin and glowing green eyes, believed in harmony. They lived in crystal cities, danced under twin moons, and had no concept of war until humans arrived. They didn't come with guns. No, humans came asking for peace, offering technology in exchange for alliance. But what no one knew was that something followed them from deep space. A parasite, ancient and hungry. The girl's name was Zelra, a Zarinian medical student. She lived in Sector 4, not far from the research station where human scientists worked. Zelra had always been curious about humans, especially the one assigned as a xenobiologist, Lieutenant Marcus Hale. He was strong, but calm. Kind but distant. Zelra often watched him from the shadows, her chest warming in ways she didn't understand. But she never dared approach him. That changed on the day the parasite landed. A meteor crashed into the jungle near the border. It was small, glowing and alive. The humans sent a team to investigate. The Zarinians sent Zelra's team as backup. That was her first field mission, and her last normal one. Inside the crater, they found a living organism pulsing inside a cracked shell. One soldier said it looked like a brain made of wet vines. Zelra moved closer, her medical scanner glowing red. "Don't touch it," Marcus shouted. But it was too late. A thin tentacle shot from the cracked meteor and pierced Zelra's neck. She screamed. Her body convulsed. Everyone panicked. Zelra's vision blurred as she felt the parasite burn into her nervous system. It didn't kill her. It merged with her, whispering things in a language she didn't know but understood. Marcus carried her back to the station. Her body was hot, trembling, and covered in sweat. Her breathing was erratic. But the parasite wasn't making her violent. It was making her desire. That night as she lay in the med bay, Zelra woke with a strange hunger, not for food, but for touch. Her hands trembled and her skin flushed purple. She heard Marcus's voice outside the door. She focused on it. Him. The parasite whispered again. Zelra stood up slowly. Her body no longer felt like hers. She walked toward the door. Zelra stood outside, the medbay confused. Her legs moved on their own. Her breath was shallow, her hands trembled. She could still hear the parasite's voice in her head. Soft, strange, seductive. It whispered about heat, about touch, about the human male nearby. Zelra? Marcus turned and saw her standing in the hallway, wearing only the thin medical gown. His eyes widened. "You shouldn't be up. You need rest." I don't know what's happening," she said, voice shaking. "Something feels wrong inside me." Marcus approached carefully. "You're safe now. Whatever that thing did to you, we'll figure it out." But as he came closer, Zelra suddenly stepped forward and grabbed his shirt, her fingers curling tightly. Her glowing green eyes locked onto his. "Your scent," she whispered. "It's driving me mad." Marcus blinked, stunned. "Zelra?" She reached up and touched his cheek, then slid her hand down to his chest. Her breathing got heavier, her skin flushed with deep violet hues. I don't want to do this," she said, yet her body leaned closer to him, trembling. "But I can't stop it." Marcus gently pushed her back. "Zelra, this isn't you. It's that parasite." She stared at him, heart racing, lips trembling. A moment later, she collapsed, into his arms, unconscious. She woke up hours later in a containment room. Her hands were strapped softly to the bed. Medical monitors surrounded her. A new voice greeted her. It wasn't Marcus. "Hello, Zelra," said Dr. Ana Torres, a human neuroscientist. "We're running tests. You were not yourself earlier." Zelra blinked. "What did I do?" Ana hesitated, looking at the readings. "You approached Lieutenant Hale. Aggressively, you don't remember?" Zelra's face turned pale lavender in shock. "I didn't mean to. I couldn't control it. We believe the parasite is influencing your emotional and hormonal centers," Ana explained. especially your attraction responses. It's using your body to seek out a mate. Zelra's heart sank. What happens if I stay infected? She asked, voice trembling. Anna looked serious. It may override your free will, and possibly use you as a carrier. That word made Zelra's blood run cold. Meanwhile, Marcus sat outside the lab room watching her through the glass. He didn't blame her. He could see the fear in her eyes. But deep inside, he couldn't forget the look she gave him. Not just lust, but confusion, hunger, sadness. The parasite wasn't just controlling her, it was changing her. And something told Marcus, this was just the beginning. Zelra sat on the edge of the medical bed, staring at her trembling hands. Her skin pulsed, with a soft, unnatural glow. Every few minutes a warm wave spread through her chest, and lower. She gritted her teeth, trying to fight it. It's not me, she repeated in her mind. It's the parasite. But no matter how much she focused, the whispers were growing louder. Not words anymore. Urges, instincts. A burning need that made her scared of herself. Something's wrong, she whispered. It's getting stronger. Dr. Anna walked in, holding a data tablet. You were right. Something inside you is growing. Zelra's eyes widened. What do you mean? Anna turned the screen toward her. We scanned your neural system again. The parasite isn't just inside your brain. It's expanding through your nervous system and reproductive centers. Zelra froze. Is it laying eggs inside me? Anna shook her head. Not exactly. It's rewriting your hormones, making you chemically drawn to one person, Marcus. It's trying to push you toward him again and again. But why? Zelra asked, shaking. Anna looked grave. We think the parasite wants to combine alien and human biology. You're the vessel. He's the target. Zelra turned pale. No, this can't be happening. Later that night, Marcus stood outside her chamber again, watching. She looked peaceful now, but her body was twitching under the sheets. Sweat glistened on her forehead. She was struggling in her sleep. Suddenly, she cried out his name. Marcus. He rushed in, ignoring the warning light on the door. Zelra sat up, panting, her pupils dilated. It's inside me, it's getting worse, I can feel it pushing me toward you. He sat beside her, keeping his hands on his knees. I'm here. You're not alone. She clenched the bedsheet, shaking. Do you know what it feels like to be trapped inside your own skin? She said, tears in her glowing eyes. To want to touch someone, kiss them. Not because you want to, but because something else is pulling the strings? Marcus looked into her eyes. I believe in you, and I'll protect you, even from yourself, if I have to. That made her shiver, but not from fear. Promise me, she whispered. If I lose control again, you'll stop me. He nodded. I promise. But deep inside, Marcus knew stopping her might not be possible for long. Zelra couldn't sleep. Every second, the heat inside her grew worse. It felt like something inside her was coiling, tightening, waiting to burst. The parasite didn't speak in words anymore. It sent feelings, powerful primal waves that overrode her thoughts. She sat on the bed, arms wrapped tightly around herself, biting her lip to stay silent. But her body trembled with a hunger that wasn't hers. Outside the door, Marcus stood guard again. He hadn't left since the night before. No one made him stay. But he couldn't bring himself to leave her alone. Suddenly the room lights turned red. Zelra's vitals spiked. The monitor beeped wildly. Marcus rushed inside. She was on the floor, panting, eyes glowing brighter than ever. Zelra, her voice, was hoarse. I can't fight it anymore. It's too strong. He knelt beside her, grabbing her shoulders. Stay with me. Breathe. You're stronger than this thing. She looked up at him, tears in her eyes, then her hand suddenly grabbed his wrists. Marcus, please untouch me, just once. Maybe it'll stop. His eyes widened. Zelra, that's not you talking. It is, she whispered. It's both of us now. I don't know where I end and it begins. She pulled him closer. Her breath was hot on his face. Please, I don't care if it's real or not. I just need to feel something real. Before I lose myself. Marcus gently pushed her back again. You don't need touch, he said softly. You need control. And we're going to get it back. Together. Zelra stared at him, trembling, then collapsed into his chest, sobbing. The next morning, Dr. Anna and her team delivered new data. The parasite is accelerating, she told Marcus. Its structure is evolving inside Zelra. It's now fully connected to her nervous and hormonal systems. Marcus clenched his fists. What happens next? Anna paused. It might try to reproduce through her. Marcus looked toward Zelra's room. She sat silently, her glowing eyes staring at the floor. She's terrified, he said. And exhausted. Anna nodded. We're running out of time. If we don't find a cure, she won't just be infected. She'll be gone. Marcus made a decision. Prepare a neural stabilizer. I'm going in. Not to fight the parasite, to talk to it. Anna's eyes widened. You're going to let it connect to you? Marcus nodded. If Zelra can't fight it alone, then I won't let her fight at all. Marcus stood inside the neural chamber, staring at Zelra through the thick glass. She was strapped to a reclining chair, calm but breathing heavily. Her skin had taken on a faint pink glow, and her eyes were too bright, almost unnaturally beautiful. Are you sure about this? Dr. Anna asked, adjusting the neural stabilizer's controls. Letting the parasite form a partial bond could be dangerous. It's already bonded with her, Marcus said. Maybe if it senses me, it'll give us clues, something we can use to stop it. Zelra looked up as the door opened. Her body shivered when Marcus walked in. You came, she whispered, voice both scared and drawn. I promised, remember? He replied, taking slow steps toward her. You're not alone. He placed the neural link pads on the side of his head. As Dr. Anna activated the system, the room began to pulse with soft blue light. And then, it touched him. At first, Marcus felt nothing. Then his vision blurred. His thoughts slowed. A heavy warmth filled his chest, and then, he was no longer alone in his own mind. A second presence moved inside him. Smooth, ancient, curious, and hungry. Images flashed through his mind. Zelra, standing naked in the moonlight. Her hands reaching for him. Her lips trembling. Her body, desperate. But he also saw her fear. Her screaming at her reflection, her punching walls, her crying in a corner, whispering, "Make it stop." Marcus gritted his teeth. You think lust is power? He growled in his mind. You think you can control her through me? The parasite didn't speak in words, but it responded. It showed him something else. A memory. His own. From years ago. A small girl. A little sister. Dying in a med pod. Him. Helpless. Crying. Swearing he'd never let someone he cared about suffer again. The parasite latched onto that memory like a claw in his soul. Zelra. Her crying face. Her trembling hands. It connected the two and whispered one idea. You want to save her, then give her what she craves. It's the only way she'll survive. Marcus tore off the neural link and gasped, collapsing to the ground. Zelra screamed. Marcus, what did it do to you? He looked up at her, eyes wide, breathing hard. It knows how to manipulate you. By using me. Later, in private, Marcus sat beside Zelra's containment room again. She looked calmer, but her expression was serious. I felt it, she whispered. It saw you. I let it in, he said, hoping we'd learn something. And we did. What? It's not just using your body to reach me, he said quietly. It's using your feelings. Zelra looked down, ashamed. Then, it's working. Because sometimes I don't know what I feel anymore, what's real, what's not. Marcus leaned forward, his voice steady. I know what's real. She blinked, looking at him. You. he said softly. You're real, and we're going to fight this together. But deep inside, Marcus now carried a secret fear. The parasite had touched his heart and left a mark. For 3 days, Zelra was kept under medical watch. Her condition had stabilized, but the parasite hadn't gone away. It had simply gone quiet, and that scared Marcus more than anything. Zelra sat on her bed, hugging her knees. When Marcus entered her chamber again, this time without protective gear, he carried a tray of food and a small box of flowers from the human garden. I thought you could use a bit of color, he said, placing the flowers beside her. She smiled weakly. Thank you. No one else visits me anymore. You're not a monster, Zelra, he said gently. But in her heart, she wasn't so sure. After a long silence, she finally looked up. Her voice was small. Do you still trust me, Marcus? He met her eyes. Yes. Then, can I touch your hand? He hesitated for only a second. If you're sure. She slowly reached out. Their hands touched, just a simple brush of skin, and that's when everything exploded. Zelra gasped. Her eyes turned bright pink. Her skin pulsed like it was on fire. A sudden wave of heat surged through her body, making her moan and collapse forward. Marcus caught her, but the second his arm wrapped around her, the parasite screamed inside both their minds. He felt it like an electric shock, a force slamming into his nervous system, flooding his thoughts with wild primal desire. Images raced through his head. Zelra kissing him, undressing, crying out his name. His heart pounded. He forced himself to focus, to stay in control. Zelra, stay with me. She clung to his chest, shaking, whispering, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to feel your warmth. I'm sorry. Her body convulsed again. The parasite wasn't attacking her. It was trying to bond through skin contact. Anna's voice came through the speaker. Marcus, get out now. It's triggering a biological merge. But he didn't move. I won't leave her, he growled. Not now. He held her tighter, not in passion but in protection. The parasite tried again. He felt it digging into his emotions, trying to unlock something. But this time, it hit a wall, Marcus's will. He pushed back, not with hate but with calm, human resolve. I won't let you use her, he said through clenched teeth. I won't let you turn this into something dirty. Suddenly, the pink glow around Zelra's skin faded. Her body stopped trembling, and the parasite retreated. Later, Zelra lay in her bed, exhausted but fully conscious. I touched you, and something inside me tried to take over, she said softly. But it didn't win. Marcus nodded. Because you fought it, and so did I. She looked up at him, a new expression on her face, not lust, but trust. You didn't pull away, she whispered. He smiled. Because you're worth fighting for. But neither of them realized the parasite had just changed tactics. Now, it wasn't just inside Zelra. It had left a fragment inside Marcus, too. Marcus hadn't slept. Since the contact, something inside him had changed. He felt it in the quiet moments, in the way his heart beat faster when he looked at Zelra, and in the strange whispers at night, like a voice just beneath thought. He didn't tell Anna yet. He didn't want Zelra to worry, but he knew. A part of the parasite had entered him, a fragment, small but alive. Inside the lab, Zelra sat calmly, but her senses were sharper than ever. She turned when Marcus entered the room. You're different, she said quietly, staring at him. I can feel it. He nodded. I think when you touched me, something passed over. Zelra stood slowly. Her eyes shimmered. I don't know if I should be close to you anymore. You didn't do this, he said gently. Maybe not, she whispered, but I don't want it to grow stronger. Marcus stepped closer. Then we face it, together. But something was wrong. That night, when Marcus closed his eyes, he dreamed of her, not just standing there, but reaching for him, lips parted, eyes filled with need. He jolted awake, sweating, not because it was just a dream, because it wasn't his, it was hers, shared memory, shared hunger. The parasite was linking their thoughts. The next morning, Anna scanned Marcus. Her face turned pale. "There's a neural parasite signal inside you now," she confirmed. "We were too late to stop it." Marcus stayed silent. "It's feeding off your attraction to her," Anna added, "and hers to you. It's not just controlling. It's evolving." Zelra looked down. "If we let this continue, it might bond us permanently." Later, Marcus stood alone with Zelra. "We need to try something," he said. Zelra's eyes widened. "You don't mean a final connection? Controlled. Inside the neural tank. We bring it into the open. Force it to show its form." Zelra stepped back. "That could make it stronger. Or expose its weakness." They looked at each. "Other breaths shallow. Will you do it with me?" he asked. She hesitated and then slowly nodded. "Yes." Because deep inside she knew, if they didn't stop it now, there would be no going back. The neural tank chamber was cold and silent. Marcus and Zelra stood side by side inside the circular pod, their bodies gently lowered into glowing blue fluid. Neural links were placed on their heads. Monitors beeped, quietly in the background. "Are you sure about this?" Anna asked over the speaker. Marcus nodded. "We connect with it, together. Not physically, mentally. It'll show its true form inside our minds." Zelra whispered, "Let's end this." Then the lights dimmed, and the world around them disappeared. They opened their eyes inside a strange dream space. It looked like a wide alien temple, floating in black space. The walls pulsed like a heartbeat. The ground was warm under their feet, and in the distance, something waited, a shape, huge, twisted, yet beautiful, like vines wrapped around a crystal heart, glowing with pink and violet light. The parasite. It pulsed as they stepped forward. Thoughts crashed into their minds, not in words but feelings. "You are mine now, one mind, one desire." Marcus held Zelra's hand tightly. "We came to destroy you." The parasite's light flared. Zelra gasped. She clutched her stomach. "Marcus." "It's inside me again, more than before. It's multiplying." He stepped between her and the glowing core. "You want me? Take me instead." But the parasite didn't answer with logic. It answered with visions. Visions of Zelra and Marcus. Entwined, gasping, bonded in body and soul. Zelra fell to her knees, breath heavy. "I can't stop it. It's pushing every emotion inside me. To the edge." Marcus clenched his fists. Then, the parasite changed tactics. It cloned his voice. "Zelra," it whispered in Marcus's voice. "You want me. You always have. I can give you peace. Touch me." She reached out, trembling. "Zelra." "No!" the real Marcus shouted. Zelra froze. Her eyes cleared. She turned to the parasite's illusion and punched it with all her strength. "No, I want the real Marcus, not you." The dream space cracked. The parasite screamed, its body of light flashing wildly. Marcus pulled Zelra close. "We weakened it together." But just as they started to retreat, the parasite changed again. It didn't want control anymore. Now, it wanted birth. Tentacles of light wrapped around Zelra's body, and it whispered a final command. "Let me live through you. Let me be born." Marcus grabbed a mental spear from the dream space and stabbed the glowing heart at the center of the parasite. Blast of light threw them backward, and everything went black. Moments later, they awoke back in the real world, gasping in the neural chamber. Zelra was in Marcus's arms. Anna and the med team rushed in. "It's gone," Anna whispered. "The readings are clear. The core energy is gone." Marcus looked at Zelra. Her eyes were calm again. "It tried to fool us, she said softly. Tried to twist love into control. Marcus smiled faintly. But you knew the difference. She touched his face gently. We beat it. Together. But deep inside, neither of them could shake one final fear. What if a small part of it still lives? For the first time in days, Zelra felt peace. The parasite's pull was gone. Her body no longer trembled with unnatural heat. Her thoughts were her own again. She could finally rest. Marcus stayed nearby, never leaving her side. He smiled more now, but there was still a cautious look in his eyes, like a soldier who had seen too much to relax completely. Dr. Anna monitored them both for any signs of relapse. All neural scans are clean, she said. You're free, it's over. But Marcus wasn't so sure. Something still felt off. That night, deep in the medical facility's lab sector, a maintenance worker named Private Kellen swept the hallway. He wasn't part of the science team. He didn't know about parasites or psychic contamination. He was just tired, alone, and humming a tune while walking past the decontaminated neural tank chamber. He heard a soft noise. Drip. 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 Curious, he stepped inside. A crack in the glass. A faint, glowing drop of fluid on the floor. He bent down. Huh. What is... The drop of fluid leaped straight into his eye. Hours passed before anyone noticed Kellen was missing. When a patrol found him near the jungle edge, he was shirtless, sweating, and staring up at the twin moons with glowing red pupils. He smiled faintly and whispered, "She failed. But I won't." Back in the facility, Marcus woke with a strange ache in his chest. He stepped outside Zelra's room to clear his head. Zelra followed, sensing his discomfort. "Something's wrong," he muttered. "I feel it. Like it's not over." Just then, the alert klaxons rang out. "Intruder detected. Biohazard warning." Anna's voice came through the intercom, panicked. "Marcus, get Zelra to safety. The parasite survived, and it found a new host." Marcus grabbed Zelra's hand and ran down the hallway as doors sealed and lights flashed. "What do we do?" Zelra gasped. "We finish what we started," Marcus said. Zelra's eyes narrowed with determination. "Then let's hunt it down." In her hands, a faint glow reappeared, not from infection but from something new, a side effect of survival. A bond neither of them yet understood. Meanwhile, the new host, Private Kellen, walked slowly through the jungle trees. But this time he wasn't alone. From the shadows, creatures began to follow. The parasite had changed. It didn't just want lust anymore. Now it wanted a species, and it had begun to build one. The jungle burned with red emergency lights as Marcus and Zelra moved through the shadows. Private Kellen, the parasite's new host, was somewhere ahead. The facility's outer fence had been breached. Power was failing, and they weren't just chasing him anymore. They were chasing the beginning of a new infection. "We end it now," Marcus said, gripping his weapon. Zelra walked beside him, calm, glowing faintly, not from sickness, but from inner strength. "I'm not afraid," she said. "Not anymore." They found Kellen in a clearing. His shirt was torn, body glowing with faint violet veins. His eyes were bright red and his voice wasn't his own. "You two ruined everything," he hissed. "But I learned. I adapted. Now, I will multiply." He raised his arms, and the parasite's energy pulsed out, calling to the small infected creatures hiding in the trees. Dozens of twisted jungle animals stepped out, all infected. Marcus raised his gun. Zelra stepped forward instead. "I carried you once," she said to the parasite. "I remember your whispers, your hunger, your lies." The parasite twisted Kellen's face into a grin. "You miss it. That power. That connection." Zelra smiled softly. "No, I have a better connection now." She reached back and grabbed Marcus's hand. Their bond ignited. The parasite screamed. Light exploded from their joined hands. It wasn't fire. It wasn't a weapon. It was pure will. Zelra's will to be free, Marcus's will to protect. The creatures around them collapsed, writhing, as the parasite's link shattered. Kellen screamed, clawing at his head. Marcus ran and tackled him to the ground. Zelra stood over the host, eyes glowing not with infection but with clarity. "You won't use love to control anymore," she said. She placed her hand on Kellen's forehead and released a final burst of light. The parasite let out one last mental shriek and died. Later that night, silence returned to Zarina 9. Dr. Anna confirmed, no more parasite signals. Neural scans clean. Host fully recovered. Kellen was unconscious but alive. The creatures were healed. The forest was safe again. Marcus and Zelra stood together in the open jungle, watching the stars. "You feel it?" Marcus asked. Zelra smiled. "Peace, but something still different in you," he said. "That glow, it's not parasite anymore, is it?" Zelra looked at her hand. "No, it's me." Marcus raised a brow. "You sure?" She took his hand again, and the warmth between them was no longer invasive. It was real. As the moons rose, Zelra leaned her head on his shoulder. "Thank you for never giving up on me," she whispered. "I wasn't just saving you," he said softly. "You saved me too." They stood together, not as patient and protector, but as survivors, as something more. Whatever came next, they'd face it hand in hand together.